Welcome back to the GDPR and Data Protection Diaries. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about something else that happened in the news recently. So this was news that was reported through the BBC News, I think on the 7th of November, around a breach that happened at the University of Hertfordshire. Now, the breach itself involved the names and email addresses of around 2,000 students who are studying at the university and are studying a very particular course. In this instance, what's happened is an email has been sent out promoting a lecture, and attached to that email was an Excel file, so an attachment, and within that attachment were the names and email addresses of the 2,000 students who are actually attending that lecture. And that email was sent out to a number of people, all students within the university, to encourage them to come and attend the lecture and to see what it was all about. Now, the University of Hertfordshire has stated that they take privacy and data protection extremely seriously, and they are investigating the incident, which is obviously the right thing to do, and is obviously really, really important. They're contacting the students and they're letting them know that the incident has occurred and providing them with advice. What advice, we don't know. Probably advice around looking out for phishing emails or somebody trying to use that information against them. The issue for me is that they've also reported that incident to the regulator. They've reported that incident to the Information Commissioner's Office and the ICO. For me, in an incident like this, that's excessive. The GDPR clearly states under Article 33 that yes, you have to report an incident to the regulator, but you don't have to report an incident if that incident or that breach is unlikely to cause a high risk to the rights or freedoms of the individuals concerned. And this is really what I wanted to talk about today. In this instance, we are talking about names, we are talking about email addresses, and the content of the email itself is simply about a lecture that the university is providing. Within that constructive information, there isn't really anything in there that I would class as particularly sensitive or particularly overly personal to any of those specific individuals. Yes, there are names, yes, there are email addresses. That information is probably available from throughout the university. We don't know if they're university addresses or personal email addresses. That I haven't been able to find out. But essentially, releasing that information out into the wild, isn't going to have a great impact on the rights or freedoms of those individuals. Worst case scenario, they might receive a phishing email. Somebody may try and go and see what courses they're attending. But for me, it's not really something that's worth reporting to the ICO, but it really is something that's worth managing internally and running through your own incident process. This is where the challenge comes at the minute. So people are talking about how effective the regulator is and how effective they are in dealing with incidents. But one of the challenges that the regulator faces is that they have to investigate every incident that is reported to them. So when incidents like this are being reported, especially ones that are being reported out in the news and out in the media, and they have to give it due care and attention, and they obviously have to investigate, which takes time and takes resources. What they really need to be doing is concentrating on the breaches and the incidents that are going to have an impact on the rights or freedoms of individuals. So what's inadvertently happening is that lots of people are reporting lots of incidents. There's almost a fear of not reporting. But what happens is that when these incidents are reported, it then takes up the time and the resources that the ICO have available, and is actually, in my view, making their job harder. So my advice for today, or my purpose for this video really, is to say that when you're looking at an incident, when you either have an internal incident or an external incident, you really need to look at the context of that, look at the information involved, look at the impact on the rights and the freedoms of the individuals concerned, and then make a considered decision about whether or not you point that incident to the regulator or whether you just deal with it internally. And making that decision and making sure that you make the right decision and giving it the right care and attention will not only save your organisation time and effort in responding to information from the regulator, responding to questions from the regulator. It will also free up the regulator to deal with more important and more serious incidents. So not every incident has to be reported. Not every incident is a reportable incident, but you should always make sure that you are reporting and managing incidents internally and dealing with them inside of your organisation. As always, if you find this video useful or you find this content interesting, please do give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a share, and let us have your comments and your thoughts down in the comments section below. For that, that's it from me today. Thanks very much.